So greetings to everyone. This is Parth from Example, a student-driven platform to help you crack your entrance exams hassle-free. Today we have Miss Rachana Yeldi with us, who just finished her second-year examinations from the prestigious Dwarkadas Jivanlal Sanghvi College of Engineering. It's a pretty renowned college which needs no introduction, and it goes without saying the level of effort required to get in. Very hearty congratulations, Miss Rachana Yeldi, for your achievement. I'm sure the journey must not have been easy. So without any further ado, let's start with the interview. So my first question to you is, what motivated you to aspire to become an engineer?
So, hello everyone. Thank you for having me here. Being an engineer, I could say it was a dream because I always wanted to know how actually things work and how actually right from the smallest to most complex things, everything needs an idea, a design to how actually works. So becoming an engineer, you would actually know what those things are and how is actually the process made and how they are actually designed. So engineering helps us to know all those things much better, and that was something motivated me to become an engineer.
So what method of study did you adopt?
So I would say that I already always had a timetable prepared, what exactly I need to study tomorrow. I used to prepare it today, like what topics and what subjects I need to do. And I used to always have a combination of subjects in order to just avoid, like if we study one subject the entire day, it will eventually make you exhausted. So keeping a combination of subjects would eventually give you something like that's more interesting, and also like some part of solving, some part of theory learning would eventually make your journey more simpler and much more interesting.
It's a pretty nice answer. What did your typical day look like while preparing? Like what was your day-to-day routine?
So, I had my college in Matunga and also my classes in Matunga. So, right from morning 9:30 in the morning to 6, I had my classes to 6 to 9. So, from 9:30 in the morning to 9 in the evening, I was entirely there in the Matunga itself. So, it was that much for like my entire day was there. And whenever I returned home, it was just I used to have my dinner and sleep. So there was a library. So I used to study there. Whatever notes the teachers used to teach me, there itself I used to prepare in the library, and that was all for me. Like in a week of 7 days, 4 days was my this routine, and then later on we had tests and some self-study materials and some revision from past papers and all. So yeah,
Okay. What was your weakest area and how did you manage to overcome it?
so weakest area I could say was in maths. It was integration. Like there are too many formulas in it first of all, and you need to actually derive, like actually see what formula it fits into. So there you need to put most of the efforts. So like derivation was quite easy for me. So was like integration was a bit tough. So I used to spend more time on it, solve more examples like from previous year questions, or some questions which are repeatedly asked, and some topics which are most importantly that they need to be revised and all. So I used to keep all those track, and the list of formulas was always there on my study table so that I could revise them more often. So yeah, that helped me a lot.
Hmm. So how do you deal with pressure? I'm pretty sure, like, with everything that you were preparing for, that there must be a lot of pressure coming your way. So how did you deal with it?
So dealing with pressure, like it wasn't easy, but you need to always keep yourself motivated. Yeah, you want to become something someday, and then for that you need to push yourself. So dealing with pressure, I could say I used to exercise and sometimes do yoga, so that eventually uh, helped me beat my pressure, and also meeting my friends. They were talking to them and spending time to them, I used to feel much more enthusiastic and rejuvenated. So even that helped me a lot.
So what difficulties and problems did you face while preparing?
So difficulties, I would say, as I said, my entire day was fully packed. I used to sometimes like feel totally exhausted. So that was the difficulty. Like I didn't get time for my own self, like something that I like my hobbies or something that I really wanted to do. So at some point, I used to feel like, oh, am I doing something that's really right? So that was the question, but after a few days I got used to it, and then like eventually it helped me to like become what I am today. That practice.
Okay. How do you maintain a healthy study person life balance? Like I'm pretty sure you must be all overwhelmed by study, and
Yeah.
it's also important to maintain a balance between your studying and your personal life. So how do you do it?
So like for studying, I had my classes and all. So after that I used to come home, and during my vacations or sometimes when we have holidays, I used to go out with my families or sometime with my friends. So like spending time with your family is something that you should do no matter whatever whatever you things you have, because sometimes you also need to have rest. So that will eventually help you become much like boost yourself to do something that's really coming up. So that helped me.
So around 5 lakh students gave CET the same year as you, and everyone must have prepared pretty well. So what did you do differently which resulted in a success?
So I could say that in entrance exam, what you need to do is like understand, like the time is very limited, and also the questions are there are more questions. So what you need to do is you just have to be be mindful at that particular time, and after reading a question once, you must be able to understand what concept it is asking, like what concept has been this question from. And so that will eventually come from practice. So practice is something that you need to keep on practicing, and that will eventually help you become something like better. And formula should be like on your tip of your finger, and practice is something like will eventually bring something remarkable in your journey.
Pretty nice. Um, so future CET aspirants would love to know what was your parents' reaction when they learned that you have cleared with such an amazing rank and marks and will soon become an engineer.
Like when results were out, I had seen my results. I was not able to believe that these are my results, so I checked it twice whether it's me or not. And then after, when I told my parents, they were like quite happy, and they asked me to check twice because this was something that was I never expected, because I had put my efforts, but this is a percentile based system, so you don't know what the results the other candidates have based on. So this isn't marks, these are percentile. So it would you can't expect what will eventually turn out to be. So like they were quite happy, and they were like proud of me, and they were pretty happy.
How does it feel like to get in your dream college?
Yeah, Dream College, like DJ Sanghvi has been Dream College for many engineering aspirants, and like I'm quite happy that I got into it. And like the teachers here and faculty here are quite helpful, and they are quite friendly. So I would say that my dream college is like something I had always dreamed. Not only the college, but also the faculty here is quite good. So I'm quite happy that I got into it.
Okay. Any other books that you refer to other than NCRT for your preparation?
Like for solving, I had referred errorless for chemistry and physics, and Cengage for mathematics, because I had also prepared for JEE examination. So for that, for that the mathematics, for that mathematics I prepared Cengage. But for considering the CET part, I would say errorless is quite useful for all the three subjects. Like it's most from the NCRT, and you have also got previous year exam questions from all the other examinations. So this would eventually help everyone.
So you of course must have studied a lot and like you must be losing focus here and there. So what helps you focus the most? Like what's your number one tip?
So, like for focusing, you need, I would say, take some break if you are tend to losing your focus, and at like chat with your friends or go out and have a walk, talk with your parents, play with your siblings. These things that like these were the things that I did, and eventually when you come back and after doing this, you will have double the focus which you previously had, and this would bring remarkable change in your daily study routine. So it's equally important that you have some change in atmosphere when you study.
That's an amazing tip. So what's your last movement strategy for CET?
So whenever I used to study a chapter, I had always jotted some points, important points, or some important formulas of that chapter. So whenever I need to revise for a test, I used to refer those things, because the entire chapter is not possible to be revised for the test. So you always have some important notes or some formula list at the end of the chapter, so that looking at those would be like you would be able to understand the entire chapter, and even your time is saved for the other chapters. So
What would your advice be to students currently in 11th, 12th, or those who are repeaters?
So my advice would be like whatever you study it like as if like you studied concept wise, because understanding a concept is very important in these entrance examinations, rather than just mugging up or just for the timing. And understanding concept which will eventually, like some chapters are interrelated. So if this one particular chapter's concept isn't clear, then you can't you go and study the rest of them. So it's equally important that you study the concept, and at the same time you solve the questions, or you refer to the questions that have been asked from these chapters. So you would know how what kind of questions are being asked from that particular chapter. So when you once prepare, the theory and the solving both go hand in hand. Only then can you say that, yeah, my one chapter's preparation is done. So, like, following this way would be really very helpful.
That's a nice advice. So I'm pretty sure you must be making a lot of silly mistakes, just like everyone. But how do you be mindful of them? How do you minimize them?
So, whenever you make a mistake, it's equally important that you learn from them. So, whatever mistake I used to make, so I used to jot them down, and just to see that these mistakes aren't repeated. Sometimes some methods in some sums are quite similar. So it's like you tend to make like mix up them, or you tend to make some errors. So whatever mistakes you do, you just jot them down, and make sure that whenever you are preparing the next time, you see to these that these are not repeated. So like working on them is the best way. You can't make those mistakes again.
What role has peer-to-peer learning played in your life at engineering as well as prior studies?
So peer-to-peer learning is actually like very important. My friends, sometimes some concepts I used to not understand, so my friends used to teach me, and I used to teach other friends. Whatever you learn, if you are able to teach someone else, it means that that concept of yours is 100% done. So peer-to-peer learning will obviously be helpful. And if someone is explaining you directly, you tend to remember more rather than a person explaining a group of them. So it's like it will eventually create a remarkable change in the way you study.
Makes sense. What are your future plans? Like, what interests you the most?
Like I have been a front-end developer now, so I aspire to become a full stack also. And I also have interest in blockchain development, so I'm currently learning that. And my future plans, I would like to pursue masters. So yeah, that's it.
What do you like the most about the example app?
So the thing is, these people, in the example of you have handwritten notes from the toppers, which I think no one else does. So, and also if you are learning from someone who has already been experienced in that particular thing, you like whatever mistakes they have made, they will tell you that these mistakes I've made and you should not repeat. So eventually you are saving your time because and it also helps you to improve. So yeah, that's the thing that the toppers are explaining you here, and also their handwritten notes. So these are something that are quite precious, and they are like providing you, so it's something amazing.
What would your message be to the future CET aspirants who want to walk the same path as you?
So my message would be like keep working hard, and everything will be possible. So just keep motivating yourself and keep telling yourself that you can do it. So everything is possible, and yeah, all the best.
Very well said.